Death, the inevitable demise of every human, now in your control. Hello YouTubers and gamers, Patricia here. Today I'm going to do a review on Darksiders 2. So let's get started. Darksiders 2 is a third-person action and adventure game developed by Vigil Games and is published by THQ. It is the sequel to Darksiders. You control the protagonist, Death, through the realms of living and the dead. Death is on a journey to rid corruption, restore balance, and to save his brother, War, for crimes he did not commit. The game is artistically designed with a mixture of realism and a cartoonish look. The game's setting mostly revolves around temple ruins, demonic castles, and hellish realms. The many weapon and armor pieces found throughout the game are designed with detail. Everything looks fantastic, except for the lack of concentration for the grass, which is not very important, but I could not help but notice it sometimes floating in midair. The combat in Darksiders 2 feels like a mashup of God of War and Bayonetta. Death can perform both aerial and ground attacks. The combat approach revolves around attacking, then dodging. Almost all enemies in the game have no hit stun during their attack animation. Hence, the game expects you to dodge the attack and then counter. This is a great way to prevent players from button mashing through all the battles. For the main weapon, Death carries a pair of scythes. As for his secondary weapon, he carries a large two-handed wielding hammer. Death has an arsenal of combos up his sleeve, and even more can be discovered by purchasing from trainers. The game gives you a brief summary of the buffs and debuffs of weapons dropped on the ground after defeating an enemy. This is a useful feature because you will not have to go into the menu to compare your current weapon stats. On the topic of weapons, there are merchants throughout the game who will sell you armor, weapons, and other items. There is one merchant who has rare items in stock, but will only trade with you if you have boatman coins, which are scattered throughout the game. If Death's barrage of combos is not enough for you, he also possesses Wrath abilities and a powerful Reaper form. You are able to unleash Wrath abilities at the cost of your Wrath meter, which you can build up by dishing out lengthy combos. Similarly, you can transform Death into his Reaper form by filling his Reaper Gouge. For every scythe-only attack you land, the Reaper Gouge will be filled. Now, Wrath abilities do not come for free. As you gain experience with Death, skill points will be awarded. With these skill points, you can then trade for and level up Wrath abilities. In later parts of the game, you will take control of a couple more unique abilities, but I don't want to spoil it, so I won't go into detail on that.
And what makes you think I have a soul or what?
Isn't that what troubles you?
Half of the gameplay in Darksiders 2 is combat, and the other half is platforming mixed with puzzle solving. The dungeon puzzle structure shares similarities with The Legend of Zelda and the God of War franchises. Dungeons have locked doors which can only be unlocked with a key or operating a lever. Keys are located in treasure chests, which are usually accessible after solving a number of puzzles. There is a wealthy amount of platforming to be done during your mission through these dungeons, which include running and climbing on walls, grappling hooks, pressing buttons, using portals, controlling custodians, and utilizing bombs. There is one bad aspect about missions and puzzle solving in Darksiders 2. Let's just say you will be very well acquainted with the number 3. Almost every mission involves around collecting 3 of something. As a result, it can feel very repetitive once you have clocked many hours into the game. The ambiguity of the instructions given to complete the missions can be an aspect to complain about, had it not been for Dust. Dust is a crow that accompanies Death on his journey, and you are able to have Dust show you the path you must take at any time during the game. Aside from Dust, you will also have another animal companion called Despair. Despair is a horse that you can summon at any time to traverse long distances at greater speeds. Fret not if you need to revisit an area in earlier parts of the game. There is a fast travel option which will instantly warp you to that destination. However, some misleading instruction issues are present in the fast travel function in the PC version of the game. On the topic of problems in the PC version, there is a noticeable imprecision on the reticule when aiming. I have also encountered a couple small movement glitches where your ally will get stuck in the environment, and if you happen to land on a crease of certain objects in the game, Death will vibrate violently. Luckily, these are just small glitches that do not affect gameplay. After you complete or during your main quest, there are side quests which the game gives you for some extra replay value, which includes scavenging lost equipment for makers and finding ingredients for shamans to make potions. Overall, the game does have an interesting story, although it does adopt similar combat styles and interactive puzzles as other titles. It does still add enough of its own twist to make the game fun though. At the same time, there are still small glitches that prevents the game from being excellent. Anyways, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and if you like it, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, see you next time.